Today we are doing day 2 of a 3-part workshop series on the 3 biggest mistakes that I see women making that really do crash their marriages and divide their families, split up families, result in separation, result in divorce, or in just kind of living really lonely and separately under one roof. And again, I said this yesterday, but one of the biggest reasons I see women in suffering in their marriage is because of these reasons. One, yesterday we covered the thing I see the most often, which is the fixating on, or like looking at, fixating on the things about your spouse that are not what you want, that are wrong for you, that are wrong for your kids, that are just wrong, period. Like you're just saying, like, that's just crazy. The things you don't agree with, support, like, things you don't like about your partner, to boil it down. That is the number one biggest thing that creates a spiral in women of negativity, of anxiety, of depression, of feeling like I'm the only one here doing it and I'm doing it all on my own and I'm sick of that. And so, you know, there's a lot that goes into that. I would not expect myself to be able to convey all of the why and the how in this training. However, what I will say is there are many layers to the psychology of a relationship and to the mindset of a relationship where a partner feels undervalued, disrespected, not needed. And men typically feel those things a lot, sometimes for women as well, but it's sort of a masculine energy. And when we as women, as mothers, pour so much energy and focus into our children, it's a very easy pattern to develop in a marriage and family where there are children who you love and care more about than anything in the world, and where your partner was once the person that you wanted to make happy. Now all you care about is making your kids happy, and it's just annoying that your partner isn't doing things the way you want him or her to do, and so you live in frustration about that. So the number one biggest mistake I see women making is focusing on what they don't like about their spouse, which flows into reason number 2. Mistake number 2 is a byproduct of this first mistake. Hi, you guys. I see so many of you coming on. I'm so glad you're here. Weigh in right now. I would just love to hear if you have any guesses about what is another thing that we do that creates division in the marriage, that creates your own negative spiral about a partner, or that creates tension and resentment, because these are the byproducts. And then we snap at kids, then we get mad at them, right? Any guesses? I'd love to see. And as you're weighing in, I'm going to come back and see what you wrote, but I'm going to go on to mistake number 2, which is that once we're seeing what is wrong with our partner, then we're going into this, okay, well, now he needs to do the work, right? So this is what's messed up about my partner. He had childhood trauma. He had early life wounding. He was abandoned. He struggles with these things, and he's just parenting like from a different generation. He's parenting like his dad did. He's harsh. He doesn't think before he speaks. He or she, you guys, you know what I mean. I'm really including whoever your partner is in this. You might be co-parenting with your mom, and this could be your mom in this situation. It's anyone who you're trying to partner with to parent your children. And what's happening is you're just so annoyed and frustrated that they're not doing it the way you want to do it. Okay, so you're wanting your partner to, exactly, Laura, you're thinking about what's not working, and then what it bleeds into is, I just want my partner to change. If my partner would change, your brain says, and this is the overwhelmed brain. The overwhelmed brain can only think of, well, if my partner was not XYZ, if he or she would just change on these things, if he would fix his anger issues, or if he would just read the damn parenting books that I keep putting on his bedside table. Raise your hand if you've ever been there. That's a knowing laugh. I'm laughing because I get it. But I gave that up a long time ago. My homeschooling, amazing, loving partner, husband, father, is never going to read a parenting book. I'm selling him out here. Some of you know him. Anyway, so, but I've read them all. I've taught them all. I've studied them and criticized them, and I just know that the way that I wish he would do things is never going to happen. That ship has sailed, because we are two different humans born to two different parents, set of parents and families with two different perspectives on what works and what doesn't work in child development and rearing, and all of that to say, when you make the mistake of thinking or believing that your partner's the one who needs to do the work, but you haven't done the work yourself, or you've done reading and you think he needs to go to therapy. I can analyze the heck out of all the mistakes he's making, all the things he's doing wrong, all the places he's choosing this, making a bad choice, he's so tuned out, or he doesn't show up for me in the ways that I want. What you're missing, this might be tough medicine, but I'm here to help you, so I'm just going to speak the truth. What you're missing is how what you're bringing to the table or not bringing to the table is co-creating the dynamic and the pattern that you have going together in marriage, in family, in parenting. Okay? So don't discount yourself. Really, really realize that this is a co-creation, that whatever I'm creating with my husband around homeschool, around parenting, around do we spend quality time together, or is that something we need to work on? I'm bringing my set of experiences, my beliefs, my emotional stuckness to the table on that, whether I'm aware of it or not. And so when you see the flaws in your partner and think you just need to fix you, what do you think that does? Sit with it for a moment. What would that do? Put the shoe on the other foot. If your partner, and this may be happening for you, if your partner's doing a lot of growth, spiritual growth, or coaching, or therapy, or they're learning, they're being a student of life, and they're open, and they're experiencing life and growing, and they're thinking that you're really messed up. You're the messed up one. You need to go fix you. And I've helped a lot of clients whose husbands have said really hateful things like that to them. Like, you're broken and you need to go fix you. And in a way, sometimes that can be a relief. The acknowledgement of what I'm doing is not working and I'd like to change it. But if you're not there and your partner says those words to you, could you imagine? And so put the shoe on the other foot. If we say that to our partners, verbally or non-verbally, believe me, they're hearing it either way. In the body language, never mind, I'll do it myself, or fine, whatever you want to do. Those are not loving, connected words and communications and gestures. And so when we're in that space of annoyed with the partner, then, and thinking like, just go fix yourself, what do you think they're going to hear or feel? What would I feel? What would you feel if you were in that position? Just putting myself in it for a moment and really connecting with that and feeling so rejected, feeling so hurt, feeling like a failure, like I'm not good enough, it doesn't matter what I do, I tried, knowing that I've tried so hard, but that all you see is that I'm not good enough. That's what partners feel. It's what kids feel too when we yell at them. So it might be hard to do this exercise with me today. It might be painful to drop into this kind of emotional place. However, if you have conflict and if you're arguing, if you're bickering or resentful towards your partner, then this is going to be a really useful exercise for you. So be honest with yourself and look at my question for you, and the call to action for today. The first one is, and be real with this, am I looking at what I don't like in my partner? Am I giving any airtime to that? And two, am I then letting that create a thought or a belief or a feeling, I wish he would just deal with himself. I wish he would just fix himself. I wish he would just change. I wish he would just grow. So if you have had that experience, that feels familiar to you, then I want you to say, yes, I get it, or yes, that happens for me. And I want you to drop now in the comments, just tell us, and I want to see this too, what then is the impact of doing that on your marriage? What's the impact? And you can look at impact in two ways. One, your emotional experience. So I feel sad a lot, or I feel frustrated and then so tired, I don't have energy for the kids. Or I feel hopeless, right? If you feel hopeless, despair, anger, living in anger. What's the impact of living in anger? So there are a lot of layers here. The other piece is impact of the marriage and family. Well, we don't spend my kids don't have any, very, very little happy time together as a family. Or my kids watch us fight, and so they're going to create relationships where that look like this. This is kind of all they know, right? Or this is the model of the world that I'm giving my kids, and that hurts. So these are things people share with me on calls. All of those things are the impact of living sort of these thoughts, bringing these thoughts into your marriage and living in them. And also, like, there's no making it wrong here. And my clients who are here, how you guys know about me, that there's no making it wrong and there's zero judgment. So if you're living in this place, the purpose of me bringing this to your attention is so that you can choose. That's always the purpose. So that you realize what I'm doing has an impact. What I'm doing creates my reality. What I'm doing has a massive influence on the marriage I get to have. That he isn't the only one, or she isn't the only one who determines what this relationship is. That I get to choose what I bring to it, what we create together, and what level of respect, cooperation, and partnership I'm going to call forth from this human. No matter how long it's been since you've been connected, no matter how twisted it is right now, no matter, there is always room for change. There is always room for change, for healthy communication. I talk to a lot of people who are kind of one foot out the door, but I won't leave because I'm not going to be away from my kids. And that would be me too. I completely get that. I would not want to risk that. And at the same time, then what do you do with the negativity that you've already created in that relationship? And there is always cleanup that can happen. There's always rewiring that can happen. And there's so much hope for the relationship, whether you're going to stay together or not. And a lot of people don't think about it that way, but like, how great would it be to have a healthy, cooperative partnership built on respect if you're going to be co-parenting in separate households? So those are the two biggest mistakes, and we're going to go over the third one tomorrow. I have one more call to action for you, which is please to add more people to this group for the culmination of this training. If you have not invited people in for this workshop or in the past, then this is your time to do it now. Please invite those who you think could use help. Right now, in this time in the world, that's every woman who has children. That is literally every mother on the planet. So there are two ways you can share. One, you can add people to the group, but if you know them, and if you can sort of send them a message about it and say, I think I'm digging this, and I think you might find some help here, or and no worries if it's not a fit for you, throw it out. But you could also just share, go to the top of the group, like on your desktop, and there's a button that says share the group, and you can share the group to your friend, your friends on Messenger or on your normal profile, and you can just say there's a lot of help and support here, and if it's been impactful for you, please do share. Don't keep it to yourself. And stay tuned for tomorrow. We've got one more day tomorrow. We're going to be going over the third mistake that's big that people make. Please do let me know what your thoughts are today down below. Give me your take on this experience. Is it happening for you? Is it going differently? Either way, I'd love to hear. We'd love to hear. Thanks so much for all of you who've joined. I love seeing you here. I love having you here. I see some of you. I'll go back and check comments and come back and respond to those. All right, much love. See you soon.